One. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are now at our sixth and final set of the day. It is going to be, you better prepare for trouble and make it double because it's Team Rocket versus Full Monty. Team Rocket, previously tested earlier by Esther and Nikki, pointed out kind of a new team. Bunch of players that have kind of been around for a while, but Stu and Young in particular, I think have only participated in I think this is like their second or third tournament or something like that. For an old school member of Knockout, been playing for years. Full Monty, old school team, I think Full Monty has been around since at least the Warzone Weekly days, as a matter of fact.
I think they're longer than that even, yeah, because they've been around for a long time.
So I think the only two original members of the roster is Zydecore and Jed. However, they got Mr. Manager, who's, I think he's been playing tournaments literally since the game came out. And Pete, right, who's been playing for several years, I believe. I think this is our first tournament. Don't hold me to that. But so this is kind of a competitive debut, and I mean, here she is, competing to get into loser semis, and Full Monty did make it to the top 4 on the ranked ladder during the qualifying season. So I mean, definitely showing her worth, and despite it being her first rodeo, showing that she don't need a second or third to take control.
Wow.
So with that said, Devmon, why don't you tell us about these comps?
Okay, well, first and foremost, we are on the map that is Aguillon, which I mean we've seen before at some point. You've got stealth areas, you've got damage, you've got death. You've basically got a whole kill map, and it's a very fun map to play. And to support that, we have bans to disable certain knots. So I see a Rocket ban right away, and that makes entire sense because after the last game with Rocket, we know how strong he is. In addition, we have a Genji ban and a Deadlift ban, which, again, very strong knots, and it makes sense. And one ban I don't think I've seen from in a long time, and that's an Ayla ban. Not usually a knot that gets played a lot or picked up a lot. Can do a lot of work when she gets to go snowballing, basically going around. But it seems like a strange ban to me. What do you think of that ban in particular?
The bans are definitely kind of odd to me. I mean, Rocket, of course, pretty standard. You got the Genji and Deadlift, which not the most necessary bans, but I mean, I get wanting to play with those nuts is not particularly fun to deal with. Is not the make or break knots for them though, in my opinion. In fact, I think I would have almost considered getting them though. I guess Scree and Raylan versus Deadlift is definitely a lot. With the Isla ban is one that I guess is particularly confusing to me because I mean, while Raylan does have a tough time dealing with melees, I suppose Swiggins is going to give her a big deal. Like, I feel like, especially with kind of how straightforward it is, the fact that you're going to have totems and whatnot, like, Isla would get stuck in rifts here, and she's going to have Scree to deal with, which I think Scree kind of shits on Isla, no offense.
Yeah, more or less, I'd say.
So, I don't understand the ban either, but I mean, same time, I mean, looking at the picture, it's not like,
yeah.
I feel like the fact that Jimmy was open for him isn't like a death sentence to Full Monty. I would say these comps are relatively even. It's kind of hard to say like which draft is better here because this is to me is one of the I would have to marginally put it in favor of Red Team, but it's really not going to come down to the better draft, but who pulls off their team combos more. Like if Manager and Nopi are cutting people off with Totem and Rift more than Young and Furrin are fighting the anchor dives and the charges for CC initiations, then blue team wins. If it's the other way around, the red team wins. So I give it to the red team here as far as if I had to pick, but it's too even for me to say. I genuinely don't know who's going to take this. What about you?
I actually think it's more in the favor of the blue team myself. And don't get me wrong, the red team has the aggression, the potential to do tons of damage. I just feel that in situations where, say, the blue team might be vulnerable, say knockback from Jimmy or the anchor dive from Swiggins, a totem's going to do a lot of work there because it's a physical wall. In addition to that, Frog coming in with the ability to stun basically a lot of characters off what they want to do is going to mean that they're going to have the ability to basically get out of situations they don't want to be in, and also put them in situations they basically don't want to be in. So if Jimmy overextends at any point, he's going to get punished incredibly hard with stuns, the time slow, and basically Totem was a big physical block. Same thing with Swiggins. Ted, I think, is in a good position just because piercing airstrike and airstrike in general does quite a lot because it gives him the burst he needs from range. And following that up with, say, grenades or Tetrisville for the snipe, be pretty good. I still think that the team's they've got a little bit more control, I guess, in general.
Yeah, and something I want to point out that I kind of forgot about until chat reminded me is future video game icon badge is at risk here. So in this tournament, the top 4 teams get a medal that basically says that you made top 4 of a tournament. So rather than going the traditional bronze, 3rd place, silver, 2nd place, gold, 1st place, there's like a top 4 medal, and then there's a 1st place gold medal. So, and the winner of this does get a medal, while the loser of this will not be playing anymore. So, definitely a lot of a stake at here. I know these teams have played before in the ladder, but I don't remember who was victorious. But I mean, I would say they're very even teams. I played everyone on the red team, though I actually haven't had the opportunity to play versus Team Rocket in this tournament. But I know they are solid players. I've seen plenty of videos of them playing. They play really well together. The blue team, I've gone up against a bunch, and they are nothing to underestimate. They will make you think that you're good to go in and try to pick up a frag, and then you just die, and you're like, are you kidding me? That happened to me a bunch of times, and then they're very aggressive also, and so constantly taking control and stuff. So, so it's going to be interesting. High stakes, high reward. The winner of this match will be going versus Please Love, actually, in the loser semis, which will catch live on March 31st. So, anyways, that's not here or there. Let's talk about the match in front of us. Are you ready to get into the gameplay?
Let's do it. I think it could go either way, so we'll have a very interesting game on our hands anyways.
Absolutely. 38-second mark. Give us a countdown, my friend.
Sure. So, 3, 2, 1, and go. So I want to start off by saying there's some interesting upgrades picked up right off the bat. I mean, you've got T800 Drum from Raylan, so you've got Body Blocking Push Master. You've also got AoE on Swiggins, and you've got Stun on Ted, which means Ted wants to get up in the brawl action and probably cancel snipes and a whole bunch of nonsense Frog has to do with just like a flying tornado, basically.
Absolutely. And so far, nothing really much happening. Upgrades are kind of standard, you know. I would say these are actually particularly standard opening picks for most of these non-standard danger events. Agent Octet, Helmet Drum. We got the Sodom Tall and the Rev to kind of make the blue team back off. There's going to be a snipe coming out from Nopi. And so they did take out the bar, so they shouldn't let that free push happen. Mr. Manager taking a lot of damage. I think if Jimmy was there, he could have easily lasted that with the missiles. Nopi in position to defend that top, kind of doing some classic Gremlin solid. That snipe hits Young, kind of falls into that. The airstrike gonna be with barely missing. And now Zydecore looking to see if he can go in. I think, I was going to say, there. Oh, great initiation actually coming out here. All of his options completely cut off. He can either charge right, which is suicide, or charge left into a turret that also simultaneously blocked off both of Furren's teammates. It's going to be a very clean 1-for-0. They got the droids pushed up so they can get some off of it. Anyways, you know, there goes Bar, which is a Bar, but I mean, being ready to push as soon as your first blood is actually pretty interesting when the first blood is under 2 minutes. So, and
sorry to cut you off there, but I wanted to point out, like I said before, anytime Jimmy wants to overextend or put himself in a position where he's in danger, he's going to be punished incredibly easily there, and I think that's basically what we saw for the first blood.
Definitely, and there's kind of a ball sack going down. There's it was actually, who was it? The Mr. Manager was actually the one that I think that coined that. Is we are just hanging off the hook and can't do it. And he was kind of stuck there, but ultimately a side core that gets picked off anyways. And oh my gosh, they knew, dude. Oh, come on.
They got out of dodge. Unfortunately, Stewie did not get out of dodge, and the saw blade coming off the jump pad means Mr. Manager is going to secure himself a promotion from regular manager to senior manager.
Yeah, and yeah, that's basically the works. He leveled up. We've been noticing you've been killing a lot of people. We're saying here comes an anchor dive and a hook out there, and there's gonna be a snipe coming out. Lots of damage again traded. Burn trying to brawl it out. Something I kind of realized on Jimmy is that he kind of has a flow with the game. Early game, Jimmy isn't quite yet that knot that goes in 1v3 and beats everyone up and does a ridiculous amount of damage on lifesteal. Early game, really, he's just got that CC going for him. He's just gonna be going for cheesy kills where, like, this guy was out positioning, let me charge him. Like, stuff like that is really kind of his bread and butter in the early game. It's around mid game, like, it's like after he has his auto attack upgrades finished off, like where he has max auto attack, max lifesteal, maybe pills, and, you know, 1 or 2 other random upgrades. Like pilot.
Yep.
That's when he starts to actually kind of go in the way Fern's currently trying to now. So I kind of want to see him chill. I don't want him to like get them fed so that they kind of get ahead of him. I mean, I'm not that he's doing that. I mean, he's literally died once. It's not like he's doing really bad or anything. And that kill was really, really sick. Would have happened to a bunch of people. But my point is that I think he kind of has to wait 5 or so minutes or so, maybe around 10, just to kind of get some upgrades that lets him take on the enemy team's comp. Like, it's like one of those things. I'm not saying that he should stall, but it's more like blue team has upgrades that let them do stuff in the early game. Well, I don't really feel that coming out of the red team yet. They can anchor dive and the airstrike and stuff, but overall, I think all the fights are going to so far be in favor of the blue team. They are taking this fight though, and I mean, okay, so look at that. Scree is cleaning up with a bunch of damage right here. You're getting them all incredibly low. And there's going to be the snipe, and there it is. And there's the double kill. Managed to stay on them with base auto attack for so long, and they get picked off there, not really having an answer to it. You know, dealing damage, but only getting the blue team to 50% HP.
Sorry to interrupt you there, but one point, while we have a second here while they're just defending, he said there were some key upgrades that Jimmy had. I don't play Jimmy a lot, but which ones would you say that what do you need in this situation to basically pick up to turn it around?
Well, I'm biased, and all the other Jimmy players in this chat are going to be like, well, of course Pillar will fucking say that, but Mice the Mech Pilot, Manager going to get taken out. The Mech Pilot being the knockback pulse after a charge missiles is ended, which you can manually end and it still deploys, and it has a stun and everything, and I think it's like the best upgrade of the game. There's so much you can do with it. But like earlier when Screw was on the 100%, if you had Mech Pilot, he lived without even thinking about it. It would have gotten them off him completely. Hey, you just literally double tap the missile button there. I don't know if he should go charge shield. Zydecore seems like he's kind of almost saving the dash for the charge to cancel it out. So there's kind of a bug if you get like the defensive stuff on charge, where if you try to heal the damage you show, that's gonna have to wait a second. Mr. Manager is hooked, and there's all like coming out doing a lot of damage and kind of delayed numbers. If I kind of look like, and red team looks like they're gonna reset. There's not an opening, and business up for grabs. I'm kind of curious who's gonna grab it. It's gonna be Froggy G. So Mr. Manager, he's playing pretty ballsy, because kind of trying to draw them out. There's gonna be a nice snipe coming out from Nopi. They kind of forgot about her, and they're going back, and there's the totem, there's the droid. Airstrike gonna be clearing that out, and they're gonna get a nice little chunk of push off of there. We see the slow auto attack on Mr. Manager coming out, which I said this earlier, when I wasn't casting. Guys, stop giving up like the DPS of damage mask and some balls for 10% slow. That doesn't do anything, and if you want to slow, you literally have 30% slow upgrades on both of Scree's other abilities. Like, oh my god.
It lasts for a long time and does good work. But it's not going to be here in this situation where Red Team's going to get aggressive, kill Mr. Manager, demote him back to just regular Manager. Zydecore is going to be able to just get out of the way. He's playing Froggy the G, so he can get out of situations that most characters cannot. He's going to be able to pick up his hammer pants, and he's going to combine that with his eating worms and give himself some good old bursts. Fears and invisibility. He's going to make him a little scared, though.
And I just gotta point out, I feel like is Dabmon's voice just kind of like going into the Mickey Mouse or whatever. I don't know.
Oh no, Kermit the Frog G.
Oh, Kermit the Frog is.
Kermit the Froggy G.
Is that for like casting Frog, or is that like a positive criticism of the Frog that you're casting, or a negative criticism?
I think the Frog's doing a good job.
Okay. So you do the Kermit voice when they're in order to kind of really.
Yeah, just focus on Frog.
Yeah, focus on Frog. You know. Okay. It could either have been your impersonation of Zydecore's Frog, or it could have also been Zydecore's Frog inspired your inner Froggy. So I was trying to figure out which one it was. So Manager's dead, by the way. Probably. Manager, die, please. Okay, thank you. I was about to say.
Did you just say die, please?
Well, I did not want them to not get that kill because that had just been silly. That's one of those ones like don't let go of that. That's the 2 for nothing. No P 50% picking up a creep. That was the Jimmy charging issue instead of talking about those just cheesy kills where they just charge someone. And I guess that's kind of why I shouted at that, because it's like, dude, just like when you get charged like that, you better be dead. If they actually let you live through that, it was silly, and that got very, very, very close to happening. I think if Manager had made the jump pad, then the Swingans would have been able to chase for the auto attack in that situation. Especially if hopefully he would have been able to pull off the telejump right and didn't have any actual accidental misclicks, which does happen to all of us. So we're gonna see a little bit of a reset. Levels even, 1 kill ahead. Turret damage slightly in favor of the red team, but overall pretty even match. I would say we're at the 9-minute mark just about, and we're about to kind of really shift into the mid game. Everyone's starting to hit more and more solar. How do you feel like the fights are going to start playing out from here, Devlon?
Well, if the blue team does so as they did before and they play very safe, and as long as Jimmy doesn't have his upgrades, they're going to play very safe and passively and use that to their advantage. Fear's actually going to get hit behind the totem, left behind, but he's going to be okay because there's not really any fault there. Stewie's currently eating a Dorito. A really large Dorito, so they're just going to back off for a second and consider their choices of snack foods. In terms of what they want to do right now, you see Screech just going for, you said slow auto attack, combine that with the constant ticks that allows them to chase, but in this situation, they're not really a nuts he wants to chase. And having a stronger slow would have been, again, a better choice, I think, in most situations, like you said before. The slow and saw is actually, I think, a little bit underrated, because even though you want to get stack the damage and saw, it can do a significant amount of slow, given the fact that it lasts for such a long time. So it's not a super strong slow, but it is a lengthy slow. No. Other than that, you've got kind of damage on both builds, and you've got HC bomb and damage on Rift, so it looks like a pretty damaging Rift without the extra slow.
Now, the rules are, by the way, that if someone disconnects while you wait, you're supposed to only collect solar XP if absolutely necessary to prevent turret chip. But whatever, another team complained about it, I guess, and neither team reported it or both doing it, so whatever. I don't care. Don't do that to me, I'll roll sharp the shit out of you, boy.
Wow, that's very nice.
Yeah.
Anyways,
so
the action's back. They're getting right into it now. They're just having a good old grand old fight, and they're grouping together, and we're back in the action. So if you look at Cybercore, he's going to go to the bottom lane, look and hide in the bush, and look at the ambush, but the red team's going to be on top. So
is Frog literally sitting in a bush enough to get the Kermit voice? Be like, wow, he's such a good frog. I'm going to do the Kermit voice. Yeah. He's literally sitting in a bush.
Yeah.
Okay. The amazing plays. I'm glad you casted that part, because honestly, I would have been able to give analysis on it. It was just too deep for my mind to comprehend. That's game is broken, walking into Mind's levels. Stewie gonna get taken out there. They're fighting around the ref, not too good, but Vernon is gonna manage to pick up Mr. Manager. So it's kind of a situation here. 1 for 1, and another team really getting pushed. I think the blue team will get a little bit of push off this. Red team looking kind of zoned. Cybercore is ready to take the fight. That if red team decides to do one, Anchor Dive going to be in this.
First in a bad position as the snipe is going to miss, or is it hit and just barely not finish him off? Loki's going to use the blaster, finish off Fear, and not looking good for the red team at the moment. Seems that even though the blue team's been dying a fair amount, it's kind of equalized for both sides, and there's not a lot of turret chip that's happening. It's mostly footsie nuts and the occasional bit of burst. However, time rift combined against the conversion means that there's going to be a slaughter as airstrike happens, and it's a 1 for 2, meaning that Stewie's actually picked up quite a good deal for himself.
That was a crazy team fight. First, that rift was so good, it was just disgusting. Now Stewie towed him off in a bad situation, going to chop it down. Manager's by himself, he can't really do much, and he knows that Furman's like on his way. Yeah, don't stay too long about Pyle, but basically Young ate like just that disgusting rift, just got melted slowly. Then Stewie was like, well, they're on cooldown, and went and got himself a double kill. And when you blow all your cooldowns right in front of the enemy turret, because sometimes forget that like how overextended they are to get that frag, because like, hey, they got the droids pushed up, red team's behind, and they got the rift there, but no, you have to remember for a second that for that kill, they are still technically turret diving the crap out of them, and so we made sure that they got punished for it. So now we kind of see a little bit of momentum reset. They're trying to keep that top lane and trying not to get thrown in by the super droid. Cybercore is going to be the first leave lane, because It's got some memories there. They're gonna get that cleared, and now they're gonna rotate bottom. That airstrike hitting them is questionable. Lots of damage. Numbers coming out. Everyone on both teams is like 1 bar. He's gonna have. I was about to say, someone have some balls and just go for it. Okay. I think that was Mr. Manager going on Stewie and getting punished for having balls. But that's going to be the 1 for nothing, actually tying up the kills. But another engagement coming out here, and should be able to pick up if he gets the lights. Does he have lights?
Is Fear going to get the double here? Nope.
Oh, okay.
No, Side the Court's going to just splash dash away and survive another day.
Now, if Chad isn't doing the wow, nice shoot meme there, then I don't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's doing it on purpose.
In this situation, red team with their kills is actually gone ahead again. They've got both turrets, and even though blue team's got really strong push and really good, strong push cheese, they're having a hard time dealing with it in this situation. Now it's just going to be held back by an anchor drop, and red team's just going to back it off and play it safe. Having this map like basically control and just map area that they can play around with, quite helpful. Now, we'll also say that the blue team's jungle being available to them at more situations means that they can sustain themselves a lot harder, meaning that they're in a really good position to push. And on top of the fact that they have invisibility in the middle, allowing them to basically pick where they want to have invisibility and try to set up ganks with that, especially invisible Jimmy charges, which are a little scary, if I may say so myself.
It is scary, but I also think to a certain extent it's predictable. If there's an invisible Jimmy and you're literally positioning it anywhere where it can charge you into death, then it's like kind of like, what are you doing with your life? Like better than that. And these are top teams. They made playoffs right now. They're competing for a top 4 spot. It's not like they're like, oh wow, Jimmy wasn't Viz, and they get. Oh, actually, that's gonna wait a second. Zydecore initiate onto Stewie. He's gonna knight the airstrike, so that's gonna be a 50 HP with no dealt with like no damage in return. For no real map control kind of now. The blue team trying to catch up with the droids here. Going in for the fight here. This is the real fight. There's gonna be the charge and the shield on Jimmy auto attack, an upgrade that I think is good, but I think it's gonna outshine. But he's gonna get the charge initiation anyways, and there's gonna be the blue team kind of scrambling for life, and he gets hooked. There's gonna be the rift. Oh, but Young gonna be going down here. The reversal there was incredible. They don't have any more abilities, but get a nice stash off on Jimmy too. That was great because I don't think it even occurred to Red there that they could die going in on that hook. Like they were just like, yeah, they're running away for lives. While actually I CC'd one of them, so they had to save. But No Peak just kind of kept her cool and dropped a rift, and that's another rift. No Peak's rifts are sick. I gotta give them some credit. They are tearing up the red team.
So as Fear dies here to Zydecore. No,
oh, no,
he survives just barely. Yeah.
Wow, great Jew.
He just did. Good job there, Zydecore.
I like that mind game Furren did, where he got Zydecore to shoot his auto attack in the opposite direction. Great 4D chess, man. Anyways, I guess Jimmy kind of looks like a super droid, so kind of the PTSD kicking in. Okay, I'll stop. Now kind of momentum reset. Everyone just kind of chilling, waiting for the next engagement, next opportunity. Manager kind of blew those abilities to kind of make sure the droid stays stalled. Nothing really of note happening right now. There's airstrike not hitting anything. Just kind of footsie nodding everything, to be honest. There's a totem. They might try to make something happen out of this. Furren is going to have to back off. Well, during the downtime, I want to quickly mention shield on Jimmy auto attack. What do you think about it, Dapon?
I think it's a really good upgrade that's underrated in a lot of cases, especially when stacking cooldowns. Nice kill by Young there, using the anchor drop snap damage to basically finish off in that situation. The shield on Jimmy's auto attack, pretty good. Hard to use the most shields just because it's not passive. You have to activate it by using skill and hitting that third combo. So when you go in and get aggressive, especially if you use the technique where you just tap your dash and then just hold your auto attack and just get the shield off immediately, can give you a lot of bulk during a fight and keep you alive and just amplify that health bar and also the lifesteal that you're doing. I did have a question for you though.
What?
So if Raylan's starting to get killed for Time Rift and somebody gets caught in it and starting to die, are they dying slowly or are they dying quickly? I might not find out because Youngs actually get killed right next to the Time Rift, not quite in it.
Oh, well, I think, honestly, they died so fast in these time rifts that no matter whose perspective, it still counts as fast, even when it's slowed down, to be perfectly honest. But that 2 for nothing anyway is happening there. And dealing lots of damage, we see, on probably getting a turret off this. Blue team getting caught right back up there. The the swings in this game have been so consistently back and forth, like constantly, like one team being behind, and then so 2 minutes later they're the team that's ahead. I mean, how many times so far have we been casting this and been like, oh well, first that's going to be an Invis Dash Nation on the first time a little bit behind, but that was a lot of damage getting dealt over to Young there. But how many times in this match have we casted and been like, okay, well now it's tight again, like.
More swings than a baseball game.
Yeah,
I'll put it like that. Yeah,
exactly, exactly. Airstrike right there. Ref gives manager the ability to kind of go into their jungle a little bit harder. Blue team on cooldowns, kind of backing up. There's a snipe, and blue team or red team backing up because of it. It looks like kind of. So in the downtime like this, the damage trades, oh, that's gonna wait a second. Big initiation. I think he survives that. Barely. What were they missing there? One of their guys wasn't there. That should have been a free kill, honestly. And
yeah, you just had the red team was just kind of split at the moment. It was a really good initiation with the anchor dive, but there was not enough follow up in that situation to kill off the scree. And speaking of scree, there's that's a damage auto attack build. Mascafear provides a 10% team damage buff for anybody who's near it. It stacks with auto attack, so you can do quite a lot of damage brawl. Mr. Manager's going to get charged like a football right onto the other side of the field, and it's a touchdown as they finish off Mr. Manager right into the red team's jungle. Blue team's trying to go in there and support, but they can't keep up. Those charging chucks, especially Jimmy's, just they're devastating. They're fast, and they're going to just beat them as fast as possible.
Also, not to be a dead horse, so okay, I know like no matter what Manager was dead here, if he had Ceremonial Mask though, the red team, when they went for that kill, would not have the HP right now to be pushing like this. They would not be taking snipes that pathetically. They would all be incredibly lit. Yeah,
I would say so.
Yeah, and that height rift is height rift and height totem are so sick. I hope we see height totem coming out from Mr. Manager, who's not getting the slow on totem. So he gets the 10% super conditional damage on totem, and not its amazing slow, but on auto attack he gets the 10% slow and not its amazing DPS. Like, come on, y'all.
To his credit, at least he can damage boost snipe, so that helps a bit if anyone was building up
I
snipe,
do like that upgrade. Like, to me, totem is like height and slow, or two. It's usually one of the things that makes totem more annoying. Maybe totem has good build variety. Honestly, being perfectly honest, I think any of its upgrades are viable.
Oh, the cooldown upgrade on it is especially nice when used in situations where you want to soak as much damage as possible.
Yeah, I think it's default though.
He's sniping in a bad position.
Yeah, very bad.
And he's going to get massacred as he pushes against the wall. Pierre and Stewie are looking a little bit low, but that shield on Jimmy is going to be just enough to keep him alive with the lifesteal, keep him going. So it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Sorry, not a 1-for-1 trade. In fact, blue team's going to be down 2 team members, and red team's going to have fun. You could even say a field day with the tower and bottom there. They're doing lots of chip without those droids.
Yeah, I don't think there might be many more swings after that. Nope, might have just lost her team the game there, no offense. That snipe initiation was horribly bad. Like, all game she'd been playing Raylan like perfectly in accordance to Raylan's playstyle, behind her teammates, letting Scream and Frog make space. But they got base exposure, they're getting the snowball, like ever since that snipe, the blue team has been completely split lane, behind on droids. They're dealing with so much right now, and this might be it.
It's kind of looking like it right now, to be honest. Although snipe is good for Raylan, given how she was building in that situation, I think that snipe was a big game changer there. It puts you in a position where you're vulnerable when you snipe you out in the open there when there's so many areas to hide around. I don't think it was the best snipe play. Maybe it was a little bit more so if there was an iron rifle to kind of counteract some of the damage and be a bait.
Even with iron rifle, she was melted. I mean, not to be the dead horse, but I mean, playing simple, she went in first with snipe in front of all 3 members of the enemy team. She got Swiggin, she got beat up, and now as a result, it's gonna be a lot harder. They're now 2 levels behind, 4 kills. This could be it. There's the airstrike kicking up, but look at that. That's gonna be a double kill. And now Nopi is dead. Wait. There's no way she gets out of this.
There might be, because boots on Raylan are pretty darn good, actually.
Yeah, her health was lower than wasn't as low as I thought it was. Still, I mean, she's got to defend this in a 1v3 scenario, and she TP'd to base because she didn't want to get caught in rotation, which understandable. There comes the rift,
such a good rift.
And I mean, it's probably not going to be enough, and she doesn't have piercing. This is gone. Raylan's as far as defenders go, she's a really good defender, but there's nothing anyone could have done there. And I mean, they got that sick totem there, but because of the earlier mishap, they were suddenly 2 levels behind out of nowhere and were being snowballed on. They just weren't able to make a play like that happen. So game 1 is going to be going to Stewie and Burren and Young. Sorry, Team Rocket.
There you go.
I did it.
Again.
Blue team was not prepared for trouble.
Nor were they prepared for double, as the red team was making effective uses of basically huge team fights.
More prepared for that double kill.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah,
so,
but overall, go for it.
One of the things that is worth noting is, you know, something we haven't really talked about much, whenever you lose a match, so on default, okay, so at the beginning of a series, the team that's ranked on the lower seed starts as Team 1, and then you do the traditional map veto. I love how the kill cam rail shows Stewie disconnecting. Not even dying, yeah. The kill cam rail literally, like, actually includes a portion of him just disconnecting from the match after being frozen for a few seconds. Why would you program that in, Ronimo? Like,
it killed his soul, so he...
like, they actually decided, like, what are the things we should include in a kill cam rail? Turret deaths, kills, and I think we're missing. What are we missing? What are we missing? People disconnecting from the match. Go ahead and put that in, y'all. Nice.
It's kind of like they implode. It's actually kind of entertaining.
Anyways, hey, so with that said, once you lose a match, you get to pick your team number in the map. You don't even have to veto it all for the next match. So it's a good position, but that also means that, say this does go to tiebreaker, that it's going to be Team Rocket that gets to pick everything. So they get to do it on the kind of the Plex match. So winning that first match is going to be really, really critical for them here. What's really an important match for them, because this is shaping who is making it again for the top 4. And right now, Red Team is in a really good position to go ahead and clean this up. However, these are 2 top teams. Full Monty made the original top 4 on the ladder, so on the leaderboard. They were in winner's bracket before getting knocked out by the best team so far, as far as the standings go. So if anyone can come back here, it's definitely going to be them. They are in a strong position too. Almost always, I think Team Rocket takes Team 1. I know Full Monty prefers Team 1, so it's kind of one of those things. They've just got cards stacked against them in their coming matches, but they can make it happen. And I'm going to be really interested to see if they can make the 2-0 reversal here. Definitely, this match was incredibly close. They had the mishap at the end, which happens to us all, and they weren't able to recover from it. But besides that, I mean, these teams showed even skill, and I think that kind of goes back to what we were saying, the drafts were pretty much even too, in my opinion. I don't think anyone had an extraordinary advantage. What do you think we might be seeing draft-wise coming out in the upcoming matches?
In terms of what happens, I mean, you're probably going to see more mods that are banned that are your typical bans. In terms of what may be picked, I think it's going to strongly depend on the map. The maps dictate a lot of characters based on how they're played. So I'll make some judgments as soon as the map is revealed, and then I think I'll shoot. Because other than without the map information, it's hard to say. I mean, if they want to play Starstorm, I mean, we'll be seeing Durple. Easy as that.
Well, Starstorm isn't in the tournament, but besides that.
But just for example.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyways, we're going to take a short break, and y'all guys, please be patient with us while we set up the next match. Okay, welcome back to Game 2. It's a full Monty versus Team Rocket after a very nice kind of snowball, kind of tying everything together after a very back and forth match in Game 1. We're now back. It's a new it's a new map. It's on Serona. Looks like a little bit of a player swap going on too. You got Scolder 123 coming out in No Beats place. And so you have Scolder, Coco, and Frog versus Ted, Yuri, and Sweens. Let me go ahead and do another reminder. I think I've been failing on this. I don't remember. But we are still doing our bet system. Guess who you think is going to win into the chat. All you gotta do is type red or blue. We keep track of it manually. If you guess correctly, you get a piece of DLC. After the match, you have until the match begins to get your guesses in. If at any time a wipeout happens where all 3 members of one team are dead at one time, and not where the second one where one's already dropping or one's already passing the shop, but literally all waiting for that countdown, then the first person to say wipe pipe into the chat gets a piece of DLC. So, Devon, my wonderful co-hoster, would you like to take us through these drafts?
Sure. So, like I was saying with the last game, I was expecting some fairly typical bands. So, I mean, Dizzy and Rock bands, very warranted, and I think they're solid bands overall. X-Ban is pretty good, I'd say. He's a very good threat in a lot of situations. And the Max Ban, pretty good. And sorry, who would you say was replacing No Pete?
It looks like they got Scolder 123 in place of No Pete there.
So is Scolder 123 playing Scolder 123 as I see? I think I do.
Well, yeah. If I had a bet, I mean,
I think the person named Scolder is probably playing Scolder.
Yeah,
I think that's exactly what's happening in this draft.
Be kind of reasonable. It could be all a mind game.
Yeah. I mean, there was that, what was it, the one tournament where they had their names as different characters, so Genji was Frog, and Frog was Scolder, and Scolder was Genji.
Literally unplayable, dude. You don't, like, the other team's trying to call someone out, you don't know who they're talking about.
Uncastable, too. Those are really difficult. Anyways, Scolder is currently being paired with Coco and Frog, which means that's a lot of CC, and I think that's going to be a lot of monkey punching, because they have a monkey on Team Rocket, combined with Swiggins and Ted. I mean, they're strong nuts all around. I don't think there's anything wrong with them all. They don't have any glaring weaknesses. Yuri is going to be, I think, the key for his team. So if Yuri plays a really good game and plays really mean and is very solid with the bubbles, that's going to do a lot of work. If not, I think Scolder punching the monkey with stun punches and like an oily stun punch combo is going to pretty much shut down anyone who wants to get in the way. And I think Scolder is actually the one we should be looking at for this game, especially if he's Scolder on Scolder.
So Yuri is kind of annoying for the blue team. I'll give them that. But besides for the red team, Yuri is on blue team. Yeah. But besides that, like, Scolder just kind of shits on Swiggins and Ted here. No offense. You got Coco he's got 3 lightning balls, and Frog who's on Serena. Frog's gonna run around the map and do Froggy G thing. Go around, dash and stuff. He's
gonna go around and collect the solar, and he's gonna do a very good job. Playing the Froggy the G.
Froggy G is like gonna go inside the enemy comp and then do a backdash and taunt, and Team Rocket's just gonna be like, fuck off or something. Like, honestly, that's how that matchup is, though. Of course, they do have Swiggins there to kind of deal with them, kind of as an answer. I just don't know how it's gonna be enough. They do have the area denial. They can put mines off the jump pads, and as we've seen time and time again, Yuri is incredibly strong right now. So we're gonna have to see how that goes down. That Scolder matchup here, I have to give it to the red team.
That Scolder is very threatening.
Yeah. Again, Yuri can deal with it for the blue team, but is it going to be enough is the question. And if they let themselves get cut while in a position that Yuri can't bail them out, then it's
I don't think it's going to be enough. And to be honest with you, Froggy G is a huge asset for Full Monty, because Full Monty can just afford to clear all the mines with Frog's dash. Grabbing cooldown dash, I think, is probably going to be an early priority, and Yuri cannot afford to stack mines in one spot, otherwise he's wasting his time.
Alright, with that said, let's go ahead and get on into this. I am at the, I'm not at the 38-second mark.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now I'm at the 38-second mark.
Perfect. Perfect. So, may I do a countdown for you then?
Yep, go ahead.
Right. So in 3, 2, 1, go. So, we got the teams, they've got items, cooldown ball, standard. I mean, these are all pretty much standard upgrades across the board, and pretty good players on each of the characters, I'd say. So, hey, Scolder. I'm looking forward to that. Speaking of which, throw immediately onto the Swiggins. Swiggins going to take that DOT damage, going to try to get the health just going to survive with natural reach and have to go back to base already. It's just a minute right now, including the gates in the door, and he had to go back to base. That was a really good throw on Scoldier's part.
It was.
I can say. Other than that, I mean, they've got basically the whole control of mid right now, which is bad for Yuri, because Yuri really strives to have the area control, especially with the mines everywhere. We'll see if they farm the worm. My guess is yes, as you see Coco's going to go pick up the sword from the worm, giving her a bit of an advantage. I'm kind of surprised they didn't give the Scoldier, but I guess Scoldier's kind of the presence that they want to basically fend them off a bit more. Good lightning ball onto Fear as he gets knocked back a little bit to the left. He's looking like he wants to go in for a dive. Zydecor's a little bit low in health, half health. Fear's going to get killed by first blood. Mr. Manager's DOT. They're going to soak it up and leave the red team in a good position. So red team's going to want to clear the bottom and get that turret push as much as possible instead of farming the solar as they could be.
Yeah, absolutely. So far, really going in favor of the red team. Getting the push in. The lightning balls of the throwers are really threatening to the blue team whenever they're trying to defend a turret. So they really have a lot going on for them here. The lane so far, Stewie is a really good defender here, and he's a Ted that is pretty well known for the knot. He's really optimal with his placement style, so to speak. Word that you see get tossed around a lot. We talk about effectiveness with Ted. He plays the knot optimally, and so you should be able to defend really well when necessary. However, blue team, as much they can make frags early game, though it's going to be difficult. But here's the thing: is they really don't want the late game Coco and late game Scolder to happen, especially the late game Scolder. If they let Scolder get his 700 throw damage and snare height quake and all that stuff, it is not going to be a good situation. Here's the fight coming out here, and there's going to be a double throw, and Stewie's
going to just die to the turret.
Yeah, he knows he's done. I think he kind of didn't want to take the jump pad as a juke, but he kind of spent too much time thinking about it, and I was like, literally nothing Furrin can do here to defend. He's going to hit Stewie, and now, or not Stewie, Scolder, and now Scolder's going to go grab health, and is now good to go again. As I say, please don't get knocked back by that, and he didn't, so that's cool. And he's going to go teleport back, and it's worth noting that the turrets so far, I know it's only 3.5 minutes into the red team, are literally perfect, while the blue team is on the cusp of actually kind of losing that top and probably the bottom. They're one bad team fight away, which they're definitely not having a bad team fight now, as they managed to. That was that Scolder counter that we were talking about. They had Scolder just going in for that throw, and they managed to find the time bubble this time and actually pick him off. This is going to be a 1-for-nothing blue team needs to go ahead and swing right back into things, and they're looking to see if they can get some push and get it set up here now. Furman just hanging off there, waiting to see if he can find anchor dive up the jump pad rotation. Red team aware though. He is going to hit Zydecore. He's not going to get a hook. Perhaps he. Oh. Careful! Kind of butt clenched a little bit there.
Yeah, it's getting really intense with some of these positions. You see here, Fear's actually going to land a nice anchor grapple right on Coco. Mr. Manager is going to try to get to the left side of the map, as the Yuri bubble goes in, gets incredibly aggressive, and that means Mr. Manager is actually going to get taken out. Stewie's incredibly low, goes underneath the worm and gets eaten by the worm, and we've got Young going to get thrown by the Scoldier. Scoldier's getting incredibly angry, he wants his calamari, so does Frog, and Fear's going to go behind the turret, where he's going to be nice and safe from the enemy team.
Yeah, so that was like one of those frags, okay, so like as soon as they got that kill, they should have just scrammed, like, been like, okay, get out, like, run like hell, and they said, like, they're sitting there on cooldown, like, all half health, and, like, Scolder's sitting there at full health, and Scolder almost stands there, like, in between them, like, standing still for a second, it's like, are you fucking kidding me? And then just, excuse my French, goes in and just, well, kind of threw that frag down the drain. Like, you guys, like, there's a Frog and Scolder that are literally ready to go. They are ready, and you are like on all 6 cooldowns. Just like, y'all need to bell right there, bell hard. I don't know how in the world that anchor dive didn't hit. That was literally directly through Scolder on my screen. Doesn't really matter, I guess.
A few holes in his plan, I guess you could say. Scolder's been working out, and speaking of which, Scolder wants to go in there. Oily stun. Oh, so good for the lockdown, and that lockdown on top of the stuns that you got from Frog. The red team's in a really good position to apply so much damage, and it's going to be quite the interesting ways for Blue to kind of come back from this. They're going to have to figure out who they want to focus in this situation and how they approach it. Given how they've been playing, I think they need Swiggins to basically lock down Frog or lock down the Scolder and just avoid Lightning Bolt, basically popping the anchor as soon as possible. Might be in the situation as the anchor drop hits the Skull Deer. Fear's going to go from above and try to attack. The Mine's going to hit Manager. Manager's incredibly low, and Fear's going to hit by another punch in the range of Zydecore dash to die. Zydecore's going to dash through the platform, through the bouncer, and finish off that Ted to Stewie with a combination work with Skull Deer, the Skull Deer. Young's actually almost going to get taken out by the Tornado move and have to back off himself. I mean, Red Team is again in a critical position to push, which, if they do, gives them a whole bunch of map advantage and allows them to do a lot of work. Speaking of a lot of work, yeah, the throw, the stun, the CC, there's a lot of follow-up happening with the Red Team. They're very coordinated right now, meaning that they are on top of their kill game.
Also, it's worth noting that the turrets are literally still perfect on the Red Team. Like, they have not even taken 1 damage, so I think it's really, really, really going in their favor. Young just trying.
Ooh, pull that throw.
Why? Like, I don't understand why he did that. Like, all he did was like, I don't know why he felt like he needed to place that mine there. Like, that mine's gonna be detonated by itself before the droids even get there, literally, and he just killed himself for it and probably gave up the tower, which you have done a reasonable job at defending. Oh well.
I mean, piercing laser is kind of nice for defending the tower, but you can't do it if you're dead. That's the unfortunate thing about being alive. You can't do things while you're dead, simply put.
Yeah, that Red Team really starting to pick up Snowball here. I'm not sure what does Blue Team need to make a comeback here, in your opinion? They
need to focus someone really hard and really fast. Red Team's kill potential means that they have to be bursted down, and they can't dilly-dally with DPS throws. They've got so much burst damage on their team. I mean, Coco's Lightning Ball's got the burst damage, you've got Hammer Pants and Mutant Worms, and of course you've got good old Skull Deer with his Stun Punch on top of the Oily Bronze and the Power Breach for the extra throw damage. So they need to burst down someone as fast as possible, and they need to go in. So Yuri needs to be, basically, he needs to lose all fear. Same thing with the Swiggins, they just need to focus one target as hard as possible.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's kind of like this sort of kill that they got earlier when we were like, why did you just chill? Like, when Scolder and Frog were ready to clean up. But they can get more kills like they got on Manager for their second kill. Like, that's the sort of thing that they really want here. Swiggins doesn't have too many upgrades. Swiggins is really, really, really behind on the farm right now. Swiggins, when behind on farm, feels really ass because, I mean, he's a melee defender. He doesn't have much going on. Like, he can even go in on Scolder once he has his stuff. I don't even think he really needs CC immunity. Just don't get thrown. Just don't get hit. Taco Hut's Pizza Bell, timeless advice coming in clutch there. But I mean, he can use that stun, and he can just find the angles and just really drop a hook. And if he has Anchor Dive, and if he has Throw Time Bubble, Mr. Manager cut out, pick up the frag. Kill. Yeah, but.
Oh, wait a second, is this a wipe? Is it going to be a wipe? Oh, Fear's going to run away for his life. He hits the frog, he's going to get the stun, but the throw! Oh, the stun punch. Fear's going to barely get away because the bouncers are going to interrupt, and he just barely teleports away.
This is 10-3 kills so far. Like, okay, so what's going on? Like, Blue Team's in a bad spot. Like, they're about to lose this tournament. Like, they are not doing hot at all. The upgrades are just starting to get further and further ahead. And they're in a situation now where they're buying BKM and CC immunity on both Swiggins and Yuri, trying to mitigate the Scolder more. But I feel like they're actually kind of running out of damage. Well, I guess they can still pick up frags, but they need to not. It's one of those things, like, not to sound like a dick, but the answer here is stop getting thrown, not, spend all your solar that could have been spent on other things to mitigate throw's effect. Like, y'all can dodge throw here and go in and still get a frag. Y'all can beat that out. But sure, Scolder 123 is landing these throws so consistently, and I think it would have been better. I guess Blue Team at this point. I guess it's also a cautious upgrade because they don't want to risk it, because if they one more or two for nothing at this point, and I mean it's over. Like so.
You could also say that it's kind of like an insurance. So if the Blue Team wants to get aggressive and then they get thrown while it's happening, it's hard for them to come back. So that burst damage that Sylvia's going to have combined with all the bursts and this, basically the positioning changes that they'll have to deal with will really hurt. So I think in this situation, even though it's not damage that they need, the CC immunity is going to give them a bit of defensive utility and allow them to get aggressive in a lot more situations.
What am I talking about? I just realized that Team Rocket won last one. I don't know why. This whole time I was like thinking full Monty did. I was like, Okay,
No,
so I'm
that's Team
done.
Rocket because they were blasting off again.
Okay. Yeah. We kept on making that joke. I think I forgot to swap the colors or whatever last game, and then my mind was like looked at the colors and forgot what I casted, and it was just like, oh, it's a full Monty one. Okay, so yeah, Rocket's almost out. XD. Okay, so that makes like
No
the stream
worries.
production mistakes like 2 or 3 so far this stream. I think that's improvement from last year still. It's all good.
But we're not counting, right? Anyways, Ted's going to pick up some more damage on his auto attack. A very good upgrade. I think that's pretty much Ted defined because he's very auto attack based. You also have Scolder picking up lifesteal throw. Oh, there's the lifesteal. Sorry, lifesteal punch, but the throw. So good. Red team's aggression is uncontested. Blue team cannot defend against this. I think that this position, I don't think there's much blue team can really do unless red makes a huge mistake, or 5 of them. They're so far behind at the moment, given the upgrades that are being picked up and the red team's aggression and turret damage. Their turrets still haven't been touched, like you said before. They're spotless. They're unsneezed on. So they're doing quite well for their company. And they've just got the last turret and the core's open. I don't think this is going to last much longer, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really, really dire situation. And now, red team is really just picking up snowball items. We see 3 out of the 4 throw damage upgrades getting picked up there. Use both gnomes, one thing of throw damage, and you see pills, regen getting picked up. You see sulfur coating, so Coco's gonna be nigh uncatchable, so they won't be finding those frags on her anymore. So definitely, just not a good situation for the blue team. They don't really have any kill conditions. Picking a fight here, and they're just gonna get picked up. Not really much else they can do left. It's probably gonna be a game. I mean,
that's it.
Yeah, Young literally can't go to the turret. Matt Andrews gonna come in, lightning ball. Yep, and
that's a wipe.
That's game.
Right yeah,
that's gonna be going to tiebreaker. So okay, guilty confession. I knew the series went to tiebreaker beforehand. But because for some reason I was so convinced that full Monty had won that last one because I forgot to change the score. I kept on thinking like, how the fuck does Team Rocket make a comeback here? So I was kind of like waiting to see that. So yeah, exactly. XD.
So yeah, that was a very strong play on the red team's part, and I think that they had a really strong draft with Scolder. Scolder's CC lockdown was critical to fighting Wing's initiation, fighting Yuri, because Yuri feels really threatened and can't really get close because Stun Punch and Throw is such a devastating combo. Coco's Lightning Ball Burst combined with the Frog Dash, the Hammer Pants especially, just really strong. It's a really strong death ball that kind of went around and did what they wanted to do. So simple, but effective.
And definitely. So definitely not gonna want themselves to have a comp where they just get beat up by Scolder all game next match. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But it they didn't really have that much of a solution to Scolder. Again, it was the time bubble, which kind of worked sometimes, but they didn't have. One of the things I think is really important for Scolder is making them take damage when he gives in. More important than the things that mitigate throw is the things like Chucho or Rocco, who are still absolutely dead, when they get thrown. But make things that make Scolder take a million damage just for walking forward, looking for a throw, and if he doesn't find one, it's suddenly 1/4 and has to get out of lane. Those are the things that yeah, exactly. That's what counters Scolder. So they're definitely doing what they should have been doing as far as red team goes. Had a nice draft there and just kind of a nice pickup on kills there. Perfect turrets the entire match. They did not take a single tick of turret damage. I think that's the first time we've seen this so far in the stream.
First time we've seen that competitively. So props to the red team for being able to protect the turrets. That's going on their promotion.
Absolutely. Well, with that said, we're going to be right back. We are going to go to our last match of the day. Is going to be tiebreaker, I suppose, between Team Rocket and Full Monty. Don't go anywhere, my friends. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our final match of the stream. I'm sorry guys, I know this is going to be disappointing, but it's the last set, and we're now on Tiebreaker, so it's going to be the last match. All good things have to come to an end. We've been streaming now for about 6 hours. I think it's like our 15th, 16th match of the day, and it's going to be determined who makes the fourth and final spot to get tourney medals, the fourth and final spot to go on and, go to our live casted weeklies for the remainder of the series. And it's Tiebreaker between Team Rocket and Team Full Monty. Bringing out the big guns. Looking at these drafts, you got Liz. A bunch of people on their main, so to speak. Scolder 123, you wouldn't believe who he's on. Mr. Manager on his screen, Stewie on his TED. I'm joined here by my wonderful co-host Debmond, and Debmond, why don't you take us through these drafts?
Sure. So we're playing on Guillaume, which is again a map we've seen quite a bit because it's one of the most popular maps. Not that there's a ton of maps to choose from, unfortunately. To begin with bands, we have Rocket Bean Band, which is a solid band. Frog Band, which makes sense because Frog, wow. The Frog that was played last game, really strong Frog. Deadlift Band, which is very, that's a pretty solid band. And then Jimmy Band on Aguilion, I don't think anybody will disagree with because Jimmy has free lanes to basically charge down. He's very effective in this map. In terms of the teams that are being picked and the characters on those teams, Team Rocket, who was blasting off again. We've got Ted, we've got Max Focus, 2 Strong Nuts, and Ayla. We don't see very often, if I do recall correctly. Meanwhile, Full Monty's decided to pick up Scolder. Scolder you saw in the last match. Pretty darn good, I'd say. Combined with Scree and Penny, which are also 2 other very strong nuts. So they're pretty good teams overall. In terms of the direction, I think that you've got a stronger brawl coming from Team Rocket if you can get the time slow off combined with Ayla in the right situations. Otherwise, I would say that Full Monty's got some advantage just because Scree's really good at poking them down quite a bit. And, Scolder, if he gets a throw off on you, and especially Ayla, she's in rage, pretty effective. Pretty good damage.
Absolutely. I think I like it speed up here personally. That was their last pick too, so I'm not really sure what they were going for. Earlier we saw this when it was I'm trying to remember who it was. It was so against Cassinia Isla versus Max and Raylan and someone else, some range nod or whatever. I don't remember who. But the point is that they already got the damage DPS they need. They got DPS on demand for days. They got Max Focus and Ted. They didn't need an Isla. Isla doesn't target anything together here. And I would say it's pretty countered by Scolder and Scree, who was already in the pick before Isla was brought out here. They kind of need someone that kind of tanks for them, someone that kind of pulls it all together. And I don't think that the red team has that. They need someone that gets focused on, so that when, for example, Young finds a slow motion, is going to find his slow mo shots best here when they're going out. Sentry would have been amazing here, actually. With Sentry band? No kidding. I'm actually kind of shocked at that. Sentry would have been so sick for the red team as the 3rd pick here.
Sentry and Max?
Yeah.
2 robots just to KO off the AoE damage, and you just throw on Ted with stun to prevent any sort of escape. Fantastic.
Even Genji would have been here. Isla doesn't really do anything, and then Pounce is also going to counter her. I gotta say, I think Full Monty's going to take this one.
I don't disagree. I think after seeing Scolder plays and the fact that Ayla's there, Ayla's not necessarily like a bad choice, but she's very niche. So in this situation, I don't think she's providing what she needs to provide. She's not there to do all the AoE damage she needs to do. If anything, I think her role in this position is just DOTI combined with slow eye and damage eye and just poking as a huge eye nuke to follow up on top of. Or if there's the rare situation where you get like a 3-man time bubble and you get the team nukes there. But it's going to be hard and be very interested to see in how Ayla plays out.
Absolutely. Well, with that said, let's go ahead and get on into this. I don't really have anything else to say unless you do.
Nope, I'm pretty much good to
Are
go.
we showing off pets? I see that cat.
Yeah, he's come to bug me. He knocked some stuff off my desk just now, because he's a big punk. That's right, Jasper, you're a big punk.
Say hi to your chat. It's our last chance to do it.
Yeah. Because it's the last game, and this will be a good way to end off, I think.
Alright.
Otherwise,
Anyways,
I'm ready
we
to
get
go.
into gameplay. Y'all didn't come here for this. I am at the 38-second mark. You want to give us a countdown, my friend?
Sure. So 3, 2, 1, and go. So upgrades the slow auto attack again, eh? On screen.
Ah!
Yeah. The herring snack badge and boots on Scoldy are really good, and stun on Ted really strong. And solar crab burgers, which are super good sustain. Stop knocking stuff off. Yes, gosh.
Alright,
Sorry,
so
my cat.
yeah,
Go
no
for it.
worries, man. We got Sidecar hiding in a bush. You really missed out some great stuff that time, dude. Both teams
yeah.
going to be extremely careful here. I don't think anyone wants to risk a snowball happening. Both are capable of dealing a lot of damage and picking up frags, but neither team wants to fall for the early game snowball here. It's going to be really important. I mean, this is kind of a big match for them. You know, again, whoever wins this is, you know, going on, gets medals, and everyone wants the tourney medal, man. Everyone wants it. So it's and whoever loses is completely out for good. And so it's definitely a big match here. I think both teams are going to be playing as absolutely great as they possibly can and not going to be doing any unnecessary risk.
Right.
So far, nothing but footsie nuts, nothing but droid clears. There's going to be Zydecore getting initiated on Scolder. Going to lose a lot of his health. That is the Scolder counter here. He goes in, goes to 3 bars, and can't spend more time trying to find a throw, and so just kind of walks out, and he has to reset hard. That is how you counter Scolder. You don't counter him by like, oh, CC immunity. So, nah, it's not like that. Like,
You just need to basically make him afraid to live, and make him afraid so he can't initiate by going in because he's so low to go in the first place.
Exactly. And Red Team definitely has a lot more than that they did previously, so I'm glad they kind of learned the lesson there. Nice little head bunk in the Tome there. I feel like Totem should do damage if you should just run into it. I think that's funny whenever someone just runs into a Totem from Tome Pad. Big initiation coming out here. Does he find the throw? He doesn't. Slow-mo shot doing a disgusting amount of initiation, and that's going to be your first blood at about 2.5 minutes into the game. Red pushing up the droids really fast, taking up a double with the airstrike, and slow-mo shot going to word a long rotation coming out from side of court. Pulse going to be coming out, and Invis, he wants to try something, but not really yet. Yeah.
Not much damage right now, but you know what? Better to grab an Invis and waste it rather than have your opponents grab it because that's a huge resource to basically have to fight against.
Okay, he actually Zydecore gonna pounce through the jump pad. That was sick. Now Stewie gonna get thrown. This will be a clean 1 for nothing. Good juke, not just me being coming out from Zydecore, right? And that gave Squatter the opportunity he needed to go and pick a frag. And now we're gonna nice pulse, dude.
Yeah.
You know, like stop hiding in bushes. Like it's not doing anything.
Sometimes they look camera shy. You gotta leave them some space. It's fine.
So,
of course, in mid, he's got no charges. You've got Young and you've got Ayla. They're getting incredibly aggressive on the side of court, but he's going to hide in that bush for a second. Meanwhile, Blue Team's going to go back to base, giving the Red Team an ample time to push. So they're going to take advantage of the droids. Not do tons just because the Totem is such a good block, but they are going to be able to force side of court back to base for the moment.
Absolutely. Not much really happening. Just kind of footsie nodding right now. Again, both teams just not taking any risks that they need. The Totem coming out, Mr. Manager making a play. He's going to go inside slow-mo shot, but deal actually a crap load of damage to Isla in the process. And now airstrike coming down mid, going to clear everything up. Burren going to get thrown. Pulse.
That pulse kill on here.
That was nice. That would have felt good to have pulsed that there. Airstrike coming out from Sui, just trying to best to defend. That 1 for nothing, not what the red team wants to do right now. They're getting pressure behind their turret, and blue team getting a significant amount of push here. Zydecore taking an airstrike, but he's fine. They don't really have much to say to their push besides that. So, picking up the creeps and keeping the lanes cleared ahead. One thing that I do think that a bunch of teams can try to work on, my own included, is kind of staying ahead on the droid game. Like, there's so many more times where you can find the advantage in team fights because you can force the position of your opponent. Like, if you're forcing your opponent's position to start from a fight from behind their turret, or from the ag jungle, whatever, because they are spending more time clearing than you and are constantly rotating, and you have them rotate like that. That is a good situation to be on.
Ooh, speaking of rotating, that almost got Young right there. That lightning strike was so
if
close.
only there's like some upgrade that like made lightning jump multiple times from target to target,
yeah, or make it do a little bit more damage, or there's a lot of things, but he's focused primarily on just slow and saw damage. Honestly, I think that saw slow is a little bit underrated, and given what slots you can fill up the auto attack, pretty good.
Yeah,
and
slow
Totem
is
very
amazing.
strong too.
Slow is the one slow thing I think you should get on screen 100% of the time. Slow totem is really good too. Slow Sol is also ridiculously cheap. 130 a stage for 15% on a big AoE is really nice.
Oh, it is, especially when you can hold it out for a while. Speaking of which, Ted is going to start brawling. Scoldier is going to be caught out in there, but the throw is going to throw him and everyone away out of the airstrike. Stewie's going to get picked off by Zydecore, leaving the blue team at a little bit of advantage for the second. They're up by 3 kills compared to the red team's 1 kill, but I mean, this is just the start of the game. It can really go both ways. You've got relatively even turret push for both sides, with a little bit of an advantage for the red team. And it just comes down to who can get, I think, the first double. Very interesting to see if Ayla can do much. Oh, interesting Ayla upgrade. We have the DOT up I, which I mean, very solid, probably one of the stronger upgrades for Ayla. And the gravity pull on Rage when you basically activate your Evil Eye. So you can basically target someone, pull them in towards you, kind of like a small gravity effect from, I'd say, Sentry, or like a mini pull of Scoldier.
Something that's really kind of came out of nowhere in the meta, and it's trying out to be really good. I think it's actually really effective against Scoldier. Like, if you play amazingly, I think Scoldier wins the matchup versus Ayla, unless the Ayla is just like completely sick. Because then what she can do with her pull, she can snore by the way, and then do a double pull, is when Scoldier goes in for a third punch or into throat, she can actually pull Scoldier past her, and then just punish the shit out of her, basically.
Essentially, yeah.
So it's something that if he can pull that off right, I'm going to be really interested, because Fern is definitely in a position just capitalize and kill just what he's got to do there. It'll be interesting if he makes a play happen like that. More realistically, I just kind of see Fur going in and getting thrown if Fur tries to do too much of the pool there. There's gonna be a throw
excellent
right there.
throw on Soldier's part.
You're dead.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, no, that's a 100% excellent throw. Ted does not have the survivability or mobility mechanism to escape. All he has is the stun, and that's not going to be anything for him. Speaking of which, Young's actually going to get thrown and basically dealt with CC and enough damage to basically get picked off. Pierre's the only one who's left to defend, and given the droid's position, if they don't come back to top lane fast enough, they're going to lose the top tower right now.
Absolutely. And they're starting to really get that snowball going on, which is not too good. They're kind of just Zydecore, he's sitting on a 430 sellers, Spencer going back, and I think what's Mr. Major sitting at 217. Oh, yeah, lots of damage going out there. That's a big fight. Zydecore, is he going to be going in? He's barely going to be surviving that. Nice throw. I don't think the players throw in there. They kind of clips there, so he's going to be all good. So, with that said, kind of a reset there, but looking at some of the upgrades, we do see pulse damage coming out, we see flowers, and we see oily coming out on Squadron 123, starting to get a snowball. The health swings that the Hill Punch is going to cause, as well as just all that damage on pulse damage, and oily is going to be really significant here. Young going to be taking out Mr. Manager. Curran wants to see if he can find something, but he's just going to have to back up. Not really much you can do in this situation. The auto attacks being as annoying as ever. Manager setting up push on top lane. And they're just gonna sit there. Zydecore's and Viz waiting for something to happen. I don't think anything is going to though. Going out.
Except he's been found even with the invisibility, just because he picking up the.
I think here just kind of double pulls and just enjoy the damage that she dealt. I see that's what he ended up doing anyways. I think he would have done that twice. Or whatever, but I guess it doesn't really even matter that much. It's not a big deal. With that said, and really not that much going on, to be totally honest. Mr. Manager taking lots of damage, just gonna back it up. Everyone clearing, healing off, trying to recuperate, trying to reset, and gonna get it Blue team wants to be there and ready, but they're not getting a chance to really reset the way they need. Well, now I guess Skolder and
Yeah.
Vinny
Oh,
are full
time
HP.
slower
There's
going
the
in.
initiation
Scene
that they
elimination.
need. 2 for
Oh, that was
nothing.
beautiful.
Possibly, nah, he didn't have Evil Eye up cooldown. But that was a really good play to went out there from Young. Exactly what the red team needed right there in order to make their comeback happen. And it's
Oh, sorry, I'll stop you there for a second to say I have to commend Fear for using the gravity effectively to pull him back into that time slow.
Yeah.
That was a really good combo,
That was
especially
nasty.
stacking it out with their rage damage. Yeah, that's a good way to use Ayla. And in this situation, I think that's Ayla done right, in a situation where you normally wouldn't see Ayla done right.
That's something I didn't even think about. Like when I was looking at the draft, that I would still say Sentry is better, but the pull into slow-mo shot is just that's beautiful right there. Try and walk out of it, get pulled back into a slow-mo shot. Like, oh man, that's dirty. Blue team definitely on the in a defensive position right now. Manager trying to see what pokes he can find, if any, not really that much. I mean, you know, Skolder's pushed back when he's clearing in front of his turret with Quake. They're just kind of chilling, waiting to see what they can find. I think Skolder's like 50-50 on what if he wants to go pushing for a throw or not. There's the slow-mo shot, so he might try something now, but the red team already knows it and is backing up. Might be, I think a good throw in Isla there. Really just kind of footsie knots.
It's waiting for the right opportunity to find that right throw. So in both situations, I think the red team's waiting for a good time slow and Evil Eye, whereas the blue team's waiting for either the Invis to get some penny knockback or the Skolder throw, which is what they've been kind of hinging on. It's been a huge advantage to their team, and they want to continue to do it that way. That's the way they've kind of built their win con.
Absolutely. And really, again, just kind of a chill situation going on here. He's like piercing being picked up on the airstrike there, and so that it's gonna hit Sidecore, but he's just gonna heal it off like nothing. All the teams are completely full HP, and just really, again, this is, I mean, I hate to say it's passive gameplay. I understand why neither team wants to do any unnecessary risk.
There's a lot of risk for this match. So again, like you said before, whoever loses this is out of the tournament basically permanently and does not get that cool badge. Speaking of which, Stewie's going to get picked off by the Skolder. That body blocking the totem from Mr. Manager is actually going to secure a kill, meaning that the blue team's in an advantage right now, and they want to either secure a second kill or push that top tower down as soon as possible.
Absolutely. And now they're just going to get ready to go ahead and take the next top turret. There's going to be a totem going down there. I should be able to take this here. Ooh, double pounce. That was really good. So that's one of the things that I think people forgot about, because Penny kind of fell out of meta. One thing that Penny can do is, if she pounces someone, her hitbox expands in a circle around her. So for example, someone that's behind her, it also takes the pounce then and gets dragged in the same exact direction. I thought that's really well done. And one of those things that's just nasty and feels so good when played right. Making a sick Penny play like that always feels so good to me. It's like, that's the thing. It's awesome. And it's
especially since it's not like release Penny days, eh? Where it wasn't the size of Skolder itself.
I don't remember that. That was years ago, but I believe you.
Yeah. Anyways, red team's left here to defend the Super Droid. Again, you're right, back and forth, high risk game. There's a lot on the line, so they don't want to take any unnecessary risk. Skolder with the invisibility as Skolder. This could be a big play, depending on how he plays it. If he can get the throw off while invisible, that might be a good way to wipe him. But red team is playing very cautiously. Sleazy, Skolder's behind there. They want them to go just behind the turrets. They want to go get that, especially since Ayla's gone back to base and now is back in the field with more damage on Evil Eye. Well, not sadly to say, but dangerously to say.
Yeah, that's like 1,000 damage nuke, so that's definitely something to be cognizant of for the blue team. Also going to BTM, trying to mitigate the Skolder effect there a little bit. More damage coming out on the Ted. He's got Tick a Starstorm statue, 5% across all of his abilities. One thing that I think people forget about on Ted, so he's got Tedris and Mr. Manager getting picked up. So is Skolder. I'm just like talking about dumb stuff here.
Yeah, and Zydeco's trying to get back up. Is he going to get escaped?
Yeah.
He's trying. He's trying to. Talents is going to get him just out of safety.
Yeah.
Safety right away. And it looks like they're going to take the bottom turret.
Yeah, but yeah, they definitely get a free turret off of that. Anyways, Starstorm actually becomes better when you have multiple sources of damage. So, so for example, let's take a pulse. On that one ability, it's doing it 5. You know, it's doing it 10%, then auto attack, and then a pounce. You know, standard 50%, or I guess technically 30% increase between everything. Nice pick up on Fern, by the way. You're getting a 5% increase on like Tetris and grenades when you do it on Pet, of course. So it's like the more sources of damage you have, I think, the better Starstorm is. That's the way I choose to see it, anyways.
It's a percentile increase, so technically, it's flexible. It's there. It's just gonna be a straight damage increase, more or less. So
exactly.
In most situations, it's not bad. I don't think it'll ever be bad. But it depends on what you want to build into. If you build a lot of utility, then Starstorm Statue might not be the upgrade for you. But it's like a lot of damage.
Well, it's like,
yeah.
I'm pinning right now. It's just he was about to die, possibly. I don't know. That level just increased, I think, when they got those skills and actually saved Penny's life. So that's gonna be very unfortunate 2 for nothing. Swinging the momentum right back in favor of the blue team. They're not able to deal with these throws. What are some of the things that the red team should be doing here, in your opinion?
Right now, they should be playing very cautiously. They need to do what they did before. They need to do a time slow, get aggressive that time slow, and follow up with a lot of the damage. If I had the perfect play and could just kind of draft it out right now in just on paper, it would be you get max focus going in with the slow on the orb. If Scoldrier tries to get in, you get Ted rushing in there to use the stun on his impact, and then you follow up with Vela's pull and damage from Rage.
Absolutely, absolutely. And really and truly, airstrike gonna come out there. Penny and Viz, if they can find, if Penny's picking up silence now, and so I think Penny's in a position to kind of this snowball. They're gonna have to play extraordinarily careful and be cognizant of the threat that she's possessing right now. Because if she finds the silence at the right fight and they can't get the solo shot to proc when they need it to, that's gonna be the sort of thing that absolutely, like, Red's team fight, when it's full 3v3, I think it's kind of ass without that.
Speaking of which,
like, yeah, like, look at that.
Yeah, that was a really good throw, aggressive throw. Stewie's looking a little hurt. Ayla's right behind, and Ayla's getting in a position where she's going to get pinched. Nope, the droids are going to body block and prevent Thea from getting killed in this situation.
Absolutely, and that's going to just be another unfortunate 1-for-0 though in favor of the blue team. And that was kind of like, just put it right there. There. Oh wait, this Awesomenauts pops one out. Burn taking so much damage. Airstrike barely missing. This is so unfortunate.
Oh, Evil Eye, Evil Eye, nice Evil Eye assassination. Fierce going to get out. May use the Slug Crab Burgers to get enough sustain, but the nope.
Come on!
Oh, so close.
Your faults for that.
Nice. That was some sick dodging on Fierce part.
Yeah, it was. It definitely was. Cheesy juke. Very, very cheesy juke.
But you have to be aware of that, especially if they pick up invisibility. You never know.
So I gotta say, you know, the way I saw it, I thought that Isla was the worst pick here, but Isla's keeping their team in the game. He was finding that late game 1-0 there, and he's got the best KD. He's fed the least on his team. He's got the most droids. I can't see the assists because they haven't added that into replays yet. But
eventually.
Yeah, eventually. Coming soon, TM. But he's definitely doing a very, very solid job, and he's actually doing nice things with the pull, like what we mentioned earlier, like pulling into solo shot. Not many Islas have done that. And there's going to be a pickup there, nothing coming of it. Squatter and Tiebreaker walking down the lane, and Stewie...
Oh, Stewie's eating another Dorito.
Yeah,
he's taking
same exact spot, too. Like...
Yeah, that's the Dorito spot right there. That's when you want to pull out your bag of chips and just take a second to enjoy some Cool Ranch or your favorite Dorito flavor. What's yours, speaking of which?
Oh, I haven't had Dorito in like years. Maybe I started that keto diet like last week, and that's the one where you eat like 20 carbs a day. So like here you talk about Doritos, and like, dude, don't even mention that around me right now. I could just like go for a whole pizza.
Oh, that's completely fair.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay, Stewie's back. Quick little snack break, I guess. Everyone's again clearing and doesn't know the reconnect rules, but again, I don't really care that much, I guess, because they don't care. Whatever. Y'all should read rules, whatever. I'm not gonna. Wow. Anyways.
So we're getting back into it. If you want to go over some upgrades, we mean, but angry drawings for damage, we've got a lot of pills just kind of being picked up now. One stage on Ayla, one stage on the screen, and a couple stages on Ted, just give him a little bit of bulk. It looks like they are getting right into position to fight, and the battle is back on. Looks like they are ready to kill each other again.
I feel like the blue team is 1 HP so many times that I really think that what the red team should have been doing is maybe getting more damage. Because I don't think they survived the team fight of the blue team regardless here. I think that really they should be trying to go for those quick and easy 1-2 frags that they have been picking up and sometimes missing out on just barely. And I think that's what they really need to do to stay into this. I'm not totally sold on the builds here. Anger Drawing's getting picked up by Islands, so that's going to be a massive DPS increase. And Manager taking lots of damage. That's going to be
actually, yeah. Enough to kill Manager in that situation. That DOT combined with just
Evil Eye, that should be. That's a whiff, I guess. That's unfortunate, but he should be going down anyways. This is going to be a frag. Stewie should be surviving, I think. There goes the initiation. They're going to just try and scare Cytocore out of there. And he's going to be barely getting out. And, well, Fern picks up all the choice there. And that's going to be a 2-0. Red team going to town the back turret. Levels even up, exactly what they needed, to be totally honest. Great playmaking being made by Fern in this situation here. Pulse coming out, gonna hit, yeah, is that ranged pulse?
It is ranged pulse, yeah, something that should not be underestimated, because it gives a significant amount of range to that pulse.
It is, and it's one of those things that's really easy to underestimate. He has given up about 300-400 damage or so by not getting Deathlands, and he's given up that amp, but it's still really good. All these pills coming out almost in unison on the blue team. Definitely going to be chunky here. They definitely don't want to get double killed like that again. They just barely lost out on the kills on Stewie previously. Slow-mo shot going to come out. Nothing going to happen. Blue team now going to walk forward as a result. There's the throw! Double throw!
The double throw!
This might be game, and there's going to be the punches coming out. They literally just walked forward, and to see he doesn't die, thank God they're still in this. And they do have quite a chunk of turret to still go through. He literally didn't do a single thing with slow-mo shot, and they started back up, but they didn't back up enough, and Older was like, you cooldown, dude, not going in. Like, again, slow-mo shot makes or breaks the blue team right here, and, Young just taking the pulse damage, you know, making absolutely sure that he doesn't step out too hard. If he were to get thrown there, that would probably, be game. And now, the pull Isla gonna be dealing some damage there. And it's gonna, again, just a little another momentum reset. Blue team might go spin here. I think they might push up the lanes a little bit more. They might try and take bottom lane first. But they're definitely in a position where they can get some more upgrades. Wait, do they have stuff left for you to buy, actually? Or am I crazy?
Well, actually, wait a second. I actually get a kill on the Young. Young is going to get taken down. Pierce defending the floor. In terms of I think just it is as is. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And
anyways,
yeah.
Bottom tower's gonna go down. Blue team's in a huge advantage right now. Red team is on their heels. If they can get a team wipe and push, say, top tower and get into the base, they'll need maybe like a couple team wipes to win. If blue team just kind of pokes passively and just has this control, they're gonna have a hold of it. Especially since the super droids are coming in and they're dying. Good pulse to the floor hitting Fred though. That was a solid move on Zydecore's part.
Absolutely. Red team is really close to losing this. They got all turrets open and they got some super droids to deal with. And blue team is already they got invisible Scolder.
Invisible Scolder. That's gonna be it. That's gotta be
Manager and Zydecore are like in position and almost. Wait for it.
Oh.
There it is.
There we go. Young's gonna get taken down. Yep. Just barely. Zydecore's gonna go from behind trying to pounce and body block. Oh, not playing the body block, but
yeah, they sent a spur in there. That's gonna be game. There's not really anything you can do. He's really low.
Oh, especially if you get Zydecore coming in right behind there and just
damn.
the Soldier, get the money, get the money.
That airstrike whiffed so hard, and he still probably wanted to defend it, but he has small chance of doing it if that airstrike could connect to where he needed it to. But I mean, once it hadn't, then he was just done for. So that's gonna be Team Rocket out of the tournament, and Monty will be moving on.
There we go. Yeah. As simple as that. So they get their the top 4 badge at the very least. Yep, that's pretty cool.
It is. So what are some of the things you think Team Rocket should have done differently in game and draft wise?
I still think Halo is interesting in how they played it, and I think Halo did a really good job. However, I think Scolder needed to be pressured a bit more. You saw Scolder just kind of walk in there, throw, and do a whole lot of work, because when a 700 damage throw with Oily just hits, it's pretty much a team ender. Other than that, Hard to say. Maybe a little bit more range, maybe a little bit poke. I know that Max focused on an auto attack build right away, going for like big burst that combines with Scene Illumination. Not necessarily a bad build, but given the fact that they got Scree, Penny, and Scolder in that situation, I think a Scene Illumination build may have been the more optimal route, just to get the bigger damage numbers from range.
Absolutely. And it was kind of just one of those unfortunate things. They let themselves get thrown a lot, where I think, not trying to knock on them, but it was kind of really avoidable. Like, I saw someone mention in the chat, hey, Scolder's literally walking in a straight line towards you. I wonder what he's gonna do. Then let himself get thrown, just like bait that. Like, if Scolder walks forward like that and goes for a throw and misses, then he's a free kill. Like, he's not gonna do shit if you guys start a team fight then. And like that's what Scolder was doing. Like, he saw whipped abilities on the red team. Was like, okay, I guess I'm going in now. And they didn't make that throw miss near as much as they needed to. He was really connecting that a lot and just getting lots and lots of frags. Those easy one for nothings that were just clean and nothing you can do about it. And his team was always ready there. Like, always gets thrown into a pulse or saw blade or both. He was never like waiting for his team to catch up, and just kind of between like the lack of spacing on the red team and the coordination on the blue team, it was just kind of, they definitely had their faulty moments, but overall they kept their game plan together and they were able to take this match.
Yeah, I'd say so. Other than that, I mean, I don't really think the Scree auto attack slow did much, to be honest, in this situation.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
No.
Slow totem, high totem, both been pretty good defensive utilities, but they won anyways. They pulled through and they did well together, so I won't rag on too much.
Yeah, it was definitely really well played coming out for them. It's so it's going to be now on March 31st. What is it? It's going to be full Monty versus Please Love. It'll be my own team this Saturday. Idiots versus Boys R Us. Not biased at all, by the way, but we're totally gonna win. Obviously. So, anyways, and then we'll just keep on doing weeklies like that. We'll do losers finals, which will be losers to the two matches I just described 3 weeks from now. And then we'll do grand finals 4 weeks from now. So, Devon, it's been a wonderful time casting with you. Do you have any closing thoughts? Any closing words?
Nope, I'll just say that there have been some really nice games to see throughout today, and I would like to take a second to say thank you to the other casters who casted today, which will be Esther, Nikki, Celtsy, and Pirate Cheese, because they did a really good job with the games that they were casting.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really fun seeing the Nikki casting debut. It was really left field, but that was pretty entertaining. But yeah, I appreciate everyone coming by. Quick reminder that Scolder Showdown signups are currently open. You can sign up. We have a link in the chat for you guys to sign up with. You can come compete for DLC cash and an in-game medal. Not the medal that we currently gave out today, but a different medal. That's going to be April 21st and April 22nd. Look at the info panels, and while you're there, be sure to join our Discord, get in touch with the community. That way you can stay on top of announcements. Follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Twitch. You guys, I better surprised that we have a Twitch. I know, I was shocked.
Wow, it's just right there. You're looking at it right now.
Absolutely. And don't forget that we are partnered with Humble Bundle. If you guys are planning on buying any video games soon, Humble Bundle usually has them for cheaper anyways, and so you can literally go buy them there and without putting any extra effort. If you use our affiliate link in the info panel, so some of your money will go to charity and some of your money will go to us to fund prize pools. So we take 5% on all sales, and you also have the option of, for example, when you buy a bundle on Humble Bundle, one of the actual bundles, you can make the entirety of your purchase go towards prize pools for Rumble. So definitely do that. We would highly appreciate it, and it's been a great time, and you guys have a great rest of your evening. I hope you all enjoyed the stream.